Alrighty, so we're streaming that to YouTube's. That's
Hi
now.
YouTube. YouTube is very good to see you today.
Hi, YouTube. How you tubing? How's
gonna
that
go on
feel?
to
Because
Twitch,
it should be public.
Is it public right
which is the
now?
most
I just got a
important one.
notification, so
I don't like
we
this
should
at
be.
For what, YouTube? Or
Yeah, YouTube.
Oh, Kendra.
Hi.
The podcast.
Yeah.
Your voice is
I know.
way
I
too
listened
loud.
to it. I'm gonna eat this.
Yeah,
like
you
a
and Bonnie need to
dick.
eat the mic.
Eat the
Shout,
mic.
shout. Twitch is being a bitch, so I'm just not gonna use that.
Wait, what do you mean?
It's taking forever to set.
I'm just going to title it for right now. The Circuit Board, Episode 3.
Return of the Return of the Circuit.
Ooh, so sexy.
Sexy.
I'll change the title.
Board members of Color Circuit talk about stuff.
Talk shop.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, stuffity
yeah.
stuff.
Stuff and stuff.
And broadcasting.
Hi.
Alrighty.
Hi
Wait,
Facebook.
Wait. Give it a second.
Give it a second for
We're still not on Twitch.
yeah.
Because sometimes, too, if you'll notice, like, it'll cut off the first, 10 to 15 seconds.
Oh,
There's like a delay for a little bit.
like a little
It
preamble.
just took me off.
Remote. I don't know what. Yeah, I did that last time too. I don't know what happened.
Blues Clues.
Blues Clues.
There's our 5 seconds.
Oh, that's it.
Color Circuit is live. Then hello, good afternoon, and welcome to Circuit Board, the official Color Circuit podcast with all the hosts of Color Circuit. I'm Scott,
I'm Kendra.
I'm Dylan.
I'm Bon.
and we're going to be talking about what we did this week as far as the channel is concerned and in our personal lives, but not too personal because we're still not talking about what happened to my dad.
But
Sure.
we are
Yep.
possibly going to talk about the wedding, which was
Oh yeah,
Yes,
Bon went to a
yes.
wedding last week, so we need
Recap
to
on that.
recap on what is happening with that. Kendra, how you doing?
I'm good.
How's your Friday?
It's been pretty good. Originally, we were going to do this at 2,
Mm-hmm.
and we rescheduled to 3 Mountain Standard Time because my therapist had to change our appointment time.
So you would have done that in the morning?
Yeah, before we met up.
Okay.
So I'm feeling vulnerable and sad.
You just came
and
from therapy.
yeah, literally, 20 minutes ago?
Just
Yeah.
tell us everything that happened in the session.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of it.
So, we'll probably, I will probably sob at some point
Okay.
during this podcast.
So you're very raw.
Yeah.
Okay.
So stay tuned.
I'd stay tuned.
How
if
raw
if I
are
wasn't
you?
doing it right now, I'd totally be watching.
Hey, Bon.
How was your day?
Oh, it was good.
Next time, street is seamless. It's just gonna be seamless.
Yeah. But you know,
I'm the Segway master, remember?
Oh, that's right.
That's
Yeah.
my segues.
That's me.
Yeah. True Segway king.
Prove it.
So how was your week?
Not too bad. Like I got some work done and surprise.
Seamless.
Yeah.
Someone looks like an asshole.
I had like 2 or 3 meetings, and like I had a meeting or two, and I grabbed lunch with like an old friend, so it was really nice to catch up with
Okay.
her. And so it's been really relaxed.
Said you had a good meeting, but an intimidating one. These are
Yes,
high-powered people.
Very very pressure cooker like.
How
I
big
didn't.
were their cigars?
Probably like a. It was too much. I
Oh,
couldn't,
man,
I couldn't
yeah.
actually. It was one of the
All
side.
right, Ron, what do you
Yeah.
got for
I
us?
was what do we got here? And I'm like, I
What's
couldn't-
all this?
It was so difficult because I was like, I didn't expect the meeting to go well, and I was like, why am I here? And by the end of it, he's like, where's your card? And I'm like, I don't have a card.
We need to get you a card. It's got to say Color Circuit on it.
It's true. We got to get cards. That's one thing we haven't decided on.
I don't.
That's
I've
true.
never had a business card.
No?
Has anyone here ever had a business
Yeah,
card?
I've had a business
Yes.
card, yeah.
Feels nice, doesn't it? I bet it feels nice.
Well, you wouldn't know, would you?
I wouldn't. Yeah.
It was just yeah. I mean, it's such a weird factor because you didn't. It's not something you think you need until someone's like, "Where's your business card?" and specifically asks for it. And you're like, I do that.
Yeah, my business card says unemployed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have no business having a card.
It was mine used to be a classic, just a B in a circle.
Uh-huh.
You
And-
gave yourself a logo.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah,
Yours
Bond
is-
Industries.
Yeah, it was a black card, and I was just like, okay, it's a nice black simple thing. Had Bond or had the simple B, and then it had all my had my email. It had my address for mailing. I had like PO box at the time, and it's because I was a car salesman. And it was just like, I guess go to me here or here, so that's your choice.
Makes sense.
But it was very odd because I'm not used to it at all.
Would you like to go directly into the wedding, or do you want to wait on that?
Get in there.
I feel like our audience is waiting.
Yeah.
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 Continuity.
It was it's true. It's true. It's a flashback to episode 2. I talked about that I was going to a wedding, and the wedding happened. It was really fun, actually. Did not expect what was gonna happen. It didn't happen.
Very good.
Yeah. So I still can't say it because
okay.
it's they're
great
right.
episode.
Wow, this is nail biting.
I know.
Thanks for keeping us in the
I
loop.
can't tell you what happened, but it happened.
Oh, we didn't do it.
I'm so glad that we really built this up. What didn't we do?
Everybody knows. Oh, well, Scott knows. All right. Now it's the start of the episode. You ready? 3, 2, 1. Wow, 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 wow. You wouldn't know because you don't listen to our podcast, do you?
No.
I do, and I
That's
know
the
what you
intro
guys are
song.
doing,
know
but
the
I
thi-
don't know why I was left out of knowing that it was going to
While
happen.
you
You
were
were getting therapy.
Pouring your heart out to a lady in an office. We were like, wouldn't it be a hoot if we did an a cappella version of our amazing theme
Yeah,
song?
that would have been really great if it had actually went from our intro theme song straight into the wow wow.
That
But
was
now there's like a
I'll-
minute long
I'll
break
fix-
in between.
Did
I'll
not.
fix it in post.
So we should introduce ourselves
because because that wedding story really didn't hold up.
really at all. It was a normal wedding.
if you cancel out the window right now and don't watch, I understand. 'cause
Do
we
you
didn't
guys
deliver.
enjoy weddings? Because I will go on record saying I don't
I
like
don't.
them.
I
don't.
love weddings.
Do you?
I like dancing, and I really like all of these stupid group dances.
And
and
you're
I
the
feel
reason I hate
I
weddings.
feel like that's the only time you get to do those.
yeah, that's kind of true.
Unless
It's the only
you
time
like-
it's appropriate.
go to a
Yeah.
But you could
club
also go
and-
to prom if you want again.
I didn't.
You didn't go to any?
I went to one my sophomore year with my boyfriend at the time, who was a senior at a different high school.
Oh,
Nice.
you dirty,
But we
dirty.
didn't dance.
Oh, you're not.
You
that
did
dirty.
other
the
things.
wallflowers.
Yeah.
He tried. I was 14 and wasn't ready.
All right.
Wow.
Good
Good
for
good
you.
For you.
And then
Good
he
for
broke
you.
up with me for someone who would put out.
Ugh.
That sounds like high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I,
Does sound like high school.
I just did the senior prom. That was the only dance I ever went to in high school.
I went to prom, but I went stag because the girl that I was gonna
Sure,
go
Bon.
with, yeah, she completely denied me, like
Oh, okay.
flat out.
So you asked her, you did the.
She did the whole. I did the whole like. you-
Denise.
Wait, the girl you were never gonna go with? You mean?
Yeah, the girl I was never gonna go with. It was like I was like, cool. I'm gonna try this because this is my like. I didn't realize that I crushed on her. Let's try this out.
Oh.
And just a no.
Complete
Just a
rejection.
complete- yeah, I was like, you didn't even put any sugar coating on that, like.
Just a flat
Just a
no.
flat no. I was like, I thought all right, I was gonna walk away now. Yeah. And then like I got to the prom, and my friend's like, Bon. I'm like,
I'm
Didn't
sad.
how was
Yeah.
dinner, guys?
Didn't happen.
I told
I ate
myself
at home before I came.
I told myself I would never go to any of them, and then I ended up going to all of them my junior and senior year. So that was like 6 dancers or something.
Yeah.
And my
Yeah.
very first one I went to, she had this like beautiful, nice red dress, and we ended up dating for a long time. But I spilled an entire can of Coca-Cola all over her dress.
Oh my goodness.
And then she just like was not happy with me the rest of the night, so I just ended up hanging out with my friend. But we still ended up dating for like 4 years. So it was
Still
fine.
worked out.
She came back to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
I have 2 follow-up stories.
Mhm.
So the guy that I went with my sophomore year, he had his hair in Liberty spikes,
Sweet.
Wow.
All right.
ginormous Liberty spikes.
I don't expect any less from you.
yeah,
How do you keep that up? Like
Elmer's glue.
Elmer's glue. That's
Elmer's
the,
glue.
Yeah.
Gorilla
Um,
That just sounds stupid.
Good for him.
And then for my actual senior prom, me and 5 of my friends or 6 of my friends, we got dressed up We did prom pictures, and we went to the Daytona Beach equivalent of Hinkle and played.
Wait, I don't know what Hinkle is.
Hinkle Family Fun Center, like bowling, skee
Oh, okay,
ball,
okay.
arcade games, golf.
putt and go karts and all of that stuff. So we did all of that. We did mini golf and go karting in our prom outfits,
That's fun. Yeah.
which was a lot of fun
That's awesome.
Sounds like a good time.
because we were too punk rock for prom.
Yeah, look at our Liberty Spikes. Yeah. I went to prom once, the senior one, and I went stag, and was there anything interesting about
Probably
it?
not.
Oh no. No. Well, the reason I went and I didn't want to go, I was voted into prom court. And I remember I was walking down the hallway of St. Pius High School, and they were announcing over the PA the prom court,
Yeah.
and I heard my name, and I went, fuck. And, and the assistant or vice principal, who was a priest, was walking like opposite me, and I was just like, hey, Father. Crap. And then my friend, who was very nice, he was like, you need to come with me and the group that I'm going with to prom, because he sensed right that I didn't have anyone. And so I went, and it was an okay
But you
night.
were popular. You were on prom court.
I was, I ended up being like second prince. So
I
a
had-
lot of people have to die for me to
I
have
had
any
no
power.
idea that we were in the presence of royalty, guys.
Yeah, honestly.
This
Yeah.
changes everything.
Maybe we should be handling the mixer.
No.
Sir,
I'll
do
do
you
it.
need anything?
No. I got my artificial fruit rings and my Coca-Cola.
I can't believe that I made you get me a soda earlier.
Yeah, that was a dick thing to do.
I'm so sorry. If you had a ring, I'd kiss it.
Yeah, I don't do rings. I'm one of those princes. I'm like Prince William, the guy that married Kate. Him, he's not wearing a ring.
Okay.
They got married, and he's like, I ain't doing that, but she is.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Do you think that was a power play on his
Oh,
part?
definitely. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So, I have a story. Should we go into this?
Yeah, let's go into
This is-
content.
Really cool.
You're so excited about that.
I'm so excited. Yeah, I've been talking about this, but I wouldn't let you guys in. Although I do think that that Scott knows this story because you
Yeah,
work
we'll
you
see.
work at a news station. So,
Ah.
anyways, so I was listening to Bizarre States, a podcast by Andrew Bowser and Jessica Chobot on the Nerdist Network, and they talk about a lot of stuff that I don't believe in at all. But it's super interesting. It's kind of like that new show that's getting really big. Lost House.
last podcast
Lost
on the
Podcast
left.
Yeah. But they started telling this story, and then I found out it was Albuquerque. This happened in Albuquerque, so I was like, oh, then I guess I could also tell this story. Let me read to you the
Local-
title of the story. Man nailed to a tree.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
Oh,
heard all
that's
about
right.
that.
Yeah.
You have all, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do we know about this?
He refused to tell authorities who nailed him. And so it was speculated that it must have been gang or other like illegal kind of stuff related.
Okay.
Interesting.
Very
yeah.
personal. So
That
he
is what
definitely
I know.
knows.
I heard about
Right.
it on the day of, and I haven't followed
So
up.
I think there's been updates since because
Oh.
now they've done like a mini like KRQE like took him out or he
Back to the
took them
spot.
out back to the spot and he started explaining what happened and there's video of it.
Kind of a
not
Stations
not
of
Oh,
a
I
video
wanna
of the man nails of the
know.
tree,
It's
but
like a Stations of the Cross thing.
Oh
That's
yeah,
so
so for
ridiculous.
people who don't know,
This is
I
where
guess we should.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
there
well-
was a guy that was found in the Bosque, which is the area of trees next to the river. There was a man found nailed to a tree there. He was alive, and he was simply nailed with railroad nails, right?
something like
No,
that,
railroad
yeah.
spikes to a tree.
And
alive.
Like we don't know how long.
That's
like,
hardcore.
it's
Yeah,
just
so let's
hours.
go to Dylan now to find more information.
And
So
now
that
Dylan.
is
Yeah.
the bare minimum. That's what I know. Now I want to know more details.
I know it's a little newsy. news
so he took KRQE out and he was explaining to them what happened and he said there were these people that have been harassing him for several weeks but he doesn't know who they are.
Railroad
Really?
people?
Like,
Yes.
why? How would
Conductors are rude.
Hobos.
My grandpa's a conductor, and he's an asshole.
They're always they're always on time too.
Apparently, they told him, "Hey, if you don't listen, we're going to kill you. You're gonna die." And
Wow.
so he says,
Listen.
"Okay, then do what you need to do, because I don't want to die." He was held at gunpoint, and he was told to go down to the bosque. And they took him down this trail, and he said he complied because he didn't want to get shot.
No one wants to
Sure.
die. Yeah.
Yeah,
makes sense.
and they pulled out a hammer and they nailed him to a tree,
Oh
and
my
he
God,
showed
with
them
a
the tree
hammer?
with a hammer. Then they apparently quote unquote grabbed a nerve on his neck, and then he passed out.
So
and
they're-
then that's
they're
when
like
he,
ninjas?
then
So
that's
they're
when he was
ninjas.
Yeah, ninjas.
Yeah.
That's
Ninjas.
terrifying.
Yeah.
Just like, let's
Or
try something out.
what is
Yeah.
what
Ni-
is Spock?
The Vulcan death grip.
Yeah, or they're
yeah,
Vulcans.
Yeah, they're Vulcans
Yeah, it was
or
one of
they're
the two.
Vulcan trained.
ninja
Yeah.
conductors.
Yeah.
I want that to be the thing.
yeah.
That's-
If ninjas come back, this is what they do. They nail New Mexicans to trees.
Yeah.
They shovel coal into a furnace and the
This is-
engine goes.
And that's when police found him. And so they have complete documents about the case, and they don't know who did it.
And they nailed him like Jesus, like literally, like in the
crucifix.
Yeah, but not his
style,
feet. Yeah.
So, this reminded me of something that I saw a long time ago on like Discovery Channel or something like that. You guys can see the pictures, and I'll post them. But Filipino devotees nailed to cross in crucifixion reenactment.
Oh my
There are people that
Yeah.
purposefully
Yeah.
do this.
Oh, but he has like straps so that he's
No. He's nailed in.
No, but
Those
they're-
are nails.
But he
There's
is
support
oth-
straps, too.
otherwise he would die. Like
There would
if
be
he
a
was
certain
held
amount of-
up by
But it was-
the
Strictly, yeah.
nails,
medieval
that
times,
would
this was the
Yeah.
slow death. Like,
Yeah.
you would be hanging there for
Right,
weeks.
right.
yeah. And it's a suffocation thing because
Yeah.
Yeah.
you
Just
are holding
your
yourself
body's
up,
strained and
and
tired.
then
and
it
yeah.
just
Oh,
collapses and
suffocation.
your lungs are
Yeah.
in on itself.
But anyways,
yeah, it was a hell of a
it's
way to
just
go,
like,
Jesus.
good
Good
job.
on ya. That was-
ridiculous.
You seem like you have father
so-
problems like myself.
So Sarah Kennedy is following along and
Yeah.
said two things that I'd like to bring up. So
Yeah.
one, she liked the video a lot.
But like right when we were talking about the
And so she wanted to clarify that the likes were for us and not for the guy getting nailed to the tree.
Oh, okay.
Also, she said, yes, people do it every year. And I'm assuming she's talking about crucifying themselves.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in
That's
the
so
Philippines.
weird.
probably
I don't
during
understand
Easter,
that.
right?
Never heard of
Lent.
that.
Yeah.
End of Lent soiree.
Yeah, that's what they call it, a soiree
Soiree
crucifixion.
Yeah.
It's the top of what you could possibly do.
That is
So-
the most devout thing.
It's
So yeah, that was it
I thought getting
for
ashes was pretty hardcore.
for the crazy
I mean, I thought-
story.
so ridiculous.
And then I have some other things I want to talk about too. But
Ooh,
Attack him out.
somewhat related. I would just like to bring up. So yeah, you were just saying it's like the biggest thing that you can do to be devout. But I have a great aunt that's a nun,
mhm.
and I feel like not having sex your whole life.
I think a
mean,
lot of people
is
do that
the-
That's
though.
a-
Maybe even not on purpose.
yeah. I
that-
don't know.
That can't
It just
be.
happens.
Mhm.
People
Yeah,
just don't
that can be
have
more
sex.
devout than getting
It was-
nailed to a cross.
What is
right?
that like?
One's
Are
physical.
you asking me?
Not. what is
Don't
that like?
understand.
Not having sex. We'll take your calls.
Caller number one.
Hey, what's going on?
Sarah
Alright,
Kennedy.
Tom from,
How long has it been? Wow.
It's been about
Hey, you know.
well, it's been pretty long. It's been about 2 years now. We
Oh my God!
gonna-
2 years. I've blown my brains out. Why haven't you done that yet? Hey, thanks for your call.
You play that character a little
Alright,
bit too convincing.
Well, I've been around it for a good chunk of my life,
Yeah.
as we have revisited
Many
in the
times,
past.
yeah.
But
Quite a bit,
yeah.
quite a
Wait, do radio people really put on voices like that
Well,
sound?
they try to. They've in many
Jokingly.
in recent years. Yeah, it is a joke, but
Yeah.
they try to get away from the pukey voice. The hey everybody, good morning. We're out at Big O Tires. We're gonna have pizza and cokes, and come on by. We'll have t-shirts and come on win them. All right. Sabateo and Madal. We're here till 4. So they do actively try to not talk like a douchebag, but it still happens. And like that is like a marker in the sand to see how long the person has been doing radio. Like I work with somebody who started in radio many decades ago and now is on television, and he still has that
Oh no.
pukey voice.
Oh, it's just like built
Kooky,
into
kooky.
him now.
Yeah, it's how he broadcasts. And I mean, he's
Wow.
been doing it forever. It's a solid voice. I mean, it's very identifiable, but that's how he.
Who is it?
What station?
That almost made me do a spit take.
You almost said it,
I was-
didn't you?
No,
Okay.
No, I'm not going to say
I know.
with the
Learned his
love
lesson.
of Pete. No. Anyway.
Our viewers want to know.
Right.
Right. Lose your job.
Right. But anywho, but no, there is still that, because that voice still happens. That, hey, you're listening to KZ101. We got a boob song coming up and fart songs later up. You know, just like the yeah. We're gonna prank call a hotel where all the kids are doing spring break. That'll be fun.
Oh my God, we
Alright.
should do that.
We should totally do that. Oh my God. Yeah, they have one girl on the morning show cast that's like, you guys, you're bad. Yeah, there's still that like template that happens in radio.
That's
I could be that.
astonishing.
I could do that.
We-
If you guys need more of that from me,
Just-
let me know.
I don't know how I feel about that.
There's a guy that talks like this, and there's a guy that talks like this, and his name's usually after an animal. Yeah, like the gecko or the beaver or whatever.
the party man.
When you two do voice work, do you have it voice that is your default, or is it just your own personal voice?
Well, and it's also because you have your headphones on and your voices, so you hear everything about your voice. So
Yeah.
you're really focused
You're figuring out
on the tenor and
intonation, reflection.
So you do
right.
you go deeper, is what you're saying?
yeah, I tend to, because it does sound nice.
Yeah.
I
much
have
more
that.
relaxing, like-
A lot of people don't have that, and I
Air
fucking
5.
have that. Boom,
Great voices.
and gotta use it.
Yeah. It's like, for me, it's like I will go into a lower range and just have this relaxed cadence to it, because I'm just trying to just soothe you any way you need to. It's like one of those things where it's like, depends on the character, depends on the story.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have the right story, you're not going to do the, I'm really energized, let's go do this, guys. You just kind of like, okay, well, I'm telling a story. You have to do a certain page or a certain amount of time for, if a project is like 100 pages in a short story, then you have to have it go for a minute per page or 30 seconds, depends on the work. And then I'll change that up.
Makes sense.
All right, what were your things?
Oh, I'm gonna be in New York, and you used to live in New York,
Yes, I did.
and you used to live in New York.
For a bit.
And what do I do? What is there to do in New York? I know I need to visit the Comedy
Not much.
Cellar.
Yeah,
Not much.
Okay.
I've never been there. I've actually never seen comedy in New York City. Sarah Kennedy is in New York City and could maybe comment some places where you
Ooh.
should go while
Yeah.
you're there.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. But I really enjoyed the like stupid stuff. Like the I went to the MoMA, the Museum of Modern Art,
Yeah.
and that was incredible.
Okay.
Like,
I'm
yeah.
excited to go to that. Yeah, they had a Tim Burton exhibit a couple years ago. That would have been
amazing.
really cool to
And
go
like
to.
the Andy Warhol stuff's still there, right?
Yeah,
That's
it was when I went.
permanently-
That was
yeah.
a long time ago.
Yeah, I went. Yeah.
And Jackson Pollock, who I hate. And so it was really nice to see that his art is still shit right in front of you. I say that with spite because my ex-boyfriend was very angry that I was not enjoying Jackson Pollock and that I wasn't
Oh,
treating
wow.
it like we were in royalty,
Yeah.
just being surrounded by his
Oh my
paintings.
goodness, it's the Mona Lisa. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, whatever.
Okay. Yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah.
Sarah Kennedy from-
also, oh, sorry.
Sarah Kennedy from Facebook says I should go see Whiplash at UCB late Monday night. Actually, that sounds like
Yeah.
fun
Oh my
because I haven't seen
gosh.
that yet. And it's the drum movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've been a drummer since I was 10, so I heard it's fucking
It's
awesome.
fantastic.
It's
Great
not a
suggestion.
UCB show that they do there.
That sounds like it's probably a UCB show that they do there, and they're not
Right.
showing the movie.
Yeah.
So
Right.
that's my
That's
misinterpretation.
probably yeah. I don't know what the game is of the show, but
yeah.
it's probably like
yeah, what's Whiplash about, Sarah?
Yeah, please comment now.
There's
I
30-second
can read
delay,
it.
so
I had a lot of
Coming
fun
out.
going to like what is it called? So you know how we have like Stranger Factory, and do you know what Stranger Factory is? So it's like a art store.
It's eclectic, like it's like weird, random things where it's just out. It's fringe art.
yeah, and
Okay.
a lot of
Yeah.
like figurines and stuff like that.
okay.
And when I went to New York City a couple times, it was before I'd moved out here, and so Daytona Beach had nothing like that.
Oh, okay.
And so that was the stuff that was super exciting for me. was
Yeah.
to see that kind of culture.
Yeah, for me.
Ooh, and then Saks Fifth Avenue.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
For me, it was all about
You're a
the jazz
lady.
clubs. So,
That's
like,
I need to
yeah.
go to jazz clubs. There's no jazz out here.
there's the Little Jazz Club.
Okay.
That's all it's called.
Okay.
Yeah. It was a fantastic place. I went inside there. They had the moment I walked in, it's like I walked back into like the jazz era. It was fantastic because the music, you just hear it playing out. They were all warming up.
Smell the
It's
heroin.
beautiful. Yeah.
Ah,
it's like
that sounds amazing.
yeah, like the cigar smoke, just like it's the idea is fantastic. And then after that, there's a few of them. I'll send you like a few links.
Yeah, please let me
But,
know.
I also the comic book stores are freaking amazing out there.
Okay.
Yeah, so there
Stoked
are
about that.
plenty to go to and just explore all the collectibles as you grow your ever-growing, majestic mountain of things.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Yeah,
It
They
is,
have
it
an-
is ever
They
growing.
have an Olive Garden at Times Square.
No.
Totally go there.
Nope.
Oh, I went to the first.
This is
pizza
why I
week.
did not ask
no.
you for. I asked them.
York.
I
know it.
Yeah. Well, I spent most of my time was like in Lower Manhattan, so like I
Okay.
just
That's what I'm
Lower-
staying in is Manhattan.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
fantastic. Yeah, it's like Lower Manhattan. You just explore everything.
Yeah, here I
Just-
can just walk wherever I
yeah.
want to go.
It's weird because it's really gentrified, so everything there now is really clean and just it feels weird because there's no griminess to
Okay.
New York as I
It's
thought it would be.
changed.
Yeah.
Go to Brooklyn for
Um,
that.
So
Parts of
what I
Brooklyn.
really want to suggest is go to wherever Jess wants to go.
Treat you woman.
That sounds awful.
Yeah, treat you go.
You have 1 week where like a bunch of freaking nerds and streamers aren't invading her house. Treat your woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, first off, I wouldn't call her my woman because I'm not an asshole.
Well,
Second off, maybe this is why you don't have.
Aren't you an asshole?
Yeah, I'm an asshole. Yeah. I don't call her my woman. I call her my whore. I don't know.
Anyway,
Hey,
it's gonna
what-
be a
Cut the
great
stream
trip.
short, all right.
Update me on Sarah. What is Sarah saying?
Sarah says that the Olive Garden in Times Square is 3 stories tall.
Just go there for
way.
that.
Why would there?
And-
Is the first story is the bread. The second story.
And you can stay there as
It's
long as you
salad,
want.
And the third story is the pasta. Yeah.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
You have to take a trip through each floor. It's the only way to do it.
No, but she expanded on what Whiplash is. It's crazy drop-ins from famous people. She saw Louis C.K. We all know who he is.
At UCB, so
At
there's
Whiplash,
stand-up.
Yeah.
late night,
Okay.
Monday night, Whiplash.
Okay. All
Check
right.
it out.
All right.
Check it out. Which one? The Chelsea or the? There's 2 UCBs in
Yeah, I don't know if she specified.
Nope,
Manhattan.
not yet.
Still no-
God
still no-
damn it!
Okay, cool. Yeah, that sounds awesome.
yeah. There's
Louis is my favorite stand-up.
There's
so.
like 40 jazz clubs. I literally spent a week just going around to different jazz
Skip it
clubs
up,
and
up.
not sleeping.
That's what I want to do the whole time.
Yeah.
When I was the last jazz show I saw was actually on accident because I went to go watch stand-up in. No. Yeah, I went to go watch stand-up in San Francisco.
Chelsea, the Chelsea UCB. Thank
Chelsea
you.
UCB. Stand up in San Francisco, and in the lounge room while you're waiting to go in to watch stand up, they just had a jazz band there, and it was just
Oh,
it was
that's
just like the best of both worlds. Yeah,
yeah.
There's not a lot of
I
crossover
miss-
there.
yeah, I don't like living here because there's no jazz.
There's no jazz.
There
Yeah,
is maybe a jazz night that is at one place, and then there is the Outpost, which I suggest if you ever come to Albuquerque to check out a show there. And that's the only time I ever hear about jazz here. Like it's literally they have
And
a
on
jazz
this
festival, and that's
podcast,
it.
Jesus.
so sad.
Yeah,
So
it
sad.
hurts. It hurts.
What was your other thing? I feel like you had multiple things you wanted to
Oh,
talk about.
let's see. Oh, I watched the new Dave Chappelle specials that are on Netflix.
Right, both of
There's-
them?
I watched the first one.
Okay.
And I loved it. I loved every second of it. I know
Mhm.
you had different thoughts about it.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Love the misogyny. Love the racism.
Well, yeah, it because I feel, and he has been doing stand up here and there over the last
10 years.
decade, yeah. But not like a huge special in forever. And
Right.
that's like how big this was. That
It's the big
Netflix
thing.
got 2 of them. It does feel like he dog-eared the last year that he was really big, and he just picked up where he left off style-wise.
Uh-huh.
And just the way he talked about women, it's just I haven't currently heard that in like today's stand-up.
Oh,
and
I see.
everything.
You're
So it's
saying
like
he might be a little bit behind.
a little bit.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
He's still solid and an amazing performer.
I thought for the most part it was like mostly tasteful. Like it wasn't like
Yeah, here and there were just some jokes like, what? Just a little bit like
yeah.
that,
My
yeah.
God, it was so
Those
good. Though.
cringe moments.
I was just dying the whole time.
And he can control any size room. He's a virtuoso. He is amazing. But
his bit on like fuck Kevin Hart. God, that made
Oh,
me so
yeah,
that's
yeah.
so funny. I'm a huge Kevin Hart fan too. At least his like first couple of specials. I took a picture with him once, and he's like, "Can you kind of like bend down a little bit to make me look taller than I am?"
That's amazing.
I know. He's
great
badass.
guy, yeah.
So cool.
Is he threw in a little ad lib dig on Key and Peele. I don't know if it was in the
Oh,
first or second one.
yeah.
But just kind of that they stole his Chappelle show.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Shtick
I
or
don't think that
whatever.
was a dig. I think that was him saying these people are the guys that are taking over like the black comedy scene on Comedy Central, because Comedy Central doesn't have like a there's like Kings of Comedy tour, which is mostly that's mostly black, right?
It is
black. Yeah. They don't have that like kind of like segments or anything like that on Comedy Central. It's largely a white comedy network, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
I took it as a dig because if you look at the Key and Peele show, it is the format of Chappelle's show. They come out, they talk to an audience, they riff a little bit, then they cut to a skit.
Yeah.
That's
Sketch.
what. A little skit, a little
What
drama
is the
thing.
difference between a skit and a sketch?
A skit is something that you do at Bible camp. That's something we used to say in
Burn.
Comedy Question Mark all the time.
Wow.
What is
So
the
it
difference
irks
between
you?
a skit and a skit?
So it
the
irks
actual
you
definition.
that I
it's-
say skit?
Yeah.
Good.
You're gonna keep saying
Good.
it, aren't you?
Yeah, I need to put my hoodie on with the tassels.
That's right.
Oh, Scott Brown.
Oh, yeah.
How you break
Okay.
my heart. Oh my goodness. If you're not watching the video, Dylan just pulled.
For you podcast listeners,
Yeah, Dylan just pulled one of the strings on my hoodie
And
to
now
make
they're
them
truly
uneven.
Even. No, they're truly even.
They're actually even more even now than they were before.
But my hood's all scrunched up.
This
and
is
her
true.
eyes are up there, Dylan.
I can't help
Jesus
myself.
Christ.
Sorry, guys.
So misogynist.
Oh, God.
Awful.
Has it been an
Doing
hour
that
yet?
voice was already
So yeah, that was my comedy update. Have you guys seen any new stand up or
I'm gonna tell you guys a secret.
we don't? It's not a secret.
You don't watch?
I don't have Netflix.
What? That
you
is
can
a big
have my
secret.
login. Do you
Oh
have
my
internet?
God.
I do have internet. I just why would I not have internet? I
I
just
don't know.
I don't have Netflix just for the sole reason that I will get sucked into a black hole, and I do that too often where I will just deprive myself for a few months.
Oh, it's purposeful.
yeah, it's purposeful. I will stop to be like, I'm just not gonna have it for right now.
It's like his celibacy thing. Like, I'm not going to do
gonna-
that. I'm not going to
yeah.
do Netflix.
I cut back.
Get
on it.
stuck in the hole.
I have to remember how to talk to people again. Like I re-socialize where I'm like, okay, I have to cut back on the Netflix, so I'm just cutting it off.
You and I had a really good conversation about Netflix the other night.
He wants it so bad.
Which one?
You know, the one. No.
I was like, what? I was
we were talking about Disney was in talks
Oh,
of taking over Netflix, acquiring them.
I had not
Jesus.
heard this.
Yeah,
They-
this was
they
like
totally
like
could.
maybe a couple months ago, maybe
Yeah.
3 months ago. I don't know if it's still in talks,
I hope not.
but yeah, that was the
Yeah,
discussion is
jeez.
that you hoped
Yeah.
not, and I was kind of like, I don't
For it.
know. They grabbed Star Wars, and Star Wars is doing great. They grabbed Marvel is doing great. But then I think you had some pretty solid
well,
points
'cause what
there.
ends up happening is where Disney does this great thing of grabbing an original idea like Pixar, like taking up Pixar and these other companies and then using them to their fullest extent, but they don't expand on their range. So you kind of lose out on that imagination that tends to happen. So that's my biggest fear is that if they take over Netflix, they're more saucier
less
shows,
creative.
less creative, less like raunchy, less like being their own character is now gone because they're part of this big parent company and the biggest parent company you could possibly have
Right,
Yeah.
in
right.
entertainment. Yeah,
And
It's
I've
been
heard
around
that
for so long.
I've heard that in relation to the parks. Like in the early days of Disneyland, they came up with their own ideas, like the Haunted Mansion. It's a whole story that Disney wrote
For the
attached
park.
to this attraction, Big Thunder Mountain. And then they just acquired stuff, and they just started being like Toy Story, the ride, or Twilight Zone, the ride, which are great rides.
Yeah.
But they kind of stopped making their own thing, like Pirates of the Caribbean. They used to do that shit all the time. Like have storylines attached to these attractions, and they became popular in their own right. And now they're just like, this is what it would be like if you're in Star Wars.
It's the other way around. It's
Yes.
flipped.
Yeah. They buy things and make things about those things.
Give them what the people want. Honestly,
They do a good
Yeah,
job.
Who doesn't want a Marvel land?
I'm
I want a
sup-
Marvel land.
Yeah, I'm a super Disney nerd, so I'm fine
Well,
with
they
it.
actually already had Marvel at Islands of Adventure at Universal Studios,
Yeah.
which is weird now that that doesn't belong to them anymore. And I want to know how
Florida,
that's
the Florida
changed.
one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
because
that
they-
was my favorite part. So my favorite roller coaster. I'm a roller coaster junkie, by the way.
Oh, me
We've never
too.
talked about this.
Ah.
What are your favorite kinds?
So let me actually describe my favorite roller coaster.
Oh, okay,
real
okay.
quick,
Close
and
your
then,
eyes. Close your eyes.
So it's the Hulk, and usually the wait is about an hour. So you've been going through Bruce Banner kind of talking to you about getting the serum ready and all this stuff. You sit in the...
I'm getting it ready.
Yeah.
It's happening.
Yeah, that's
30
basically
more
it.
minutes of waiting, folks.
Yeah. Put it in the
This happened.
put it in the
So you
furnace.
sit in the what would you call it? The cart.
Centrifuge? Oh.
Yeah, sure.
The roller coaster cart seat, whatever, and it starts going up, like a centrifuge. So it's like a tunnel, and
Oh,
you're going
cool.
up very, very slow. Click, 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 and he's like, "Okay, I'm administering the serum, whatever." And then he's like, "Oh no, something went wrong! Like code red, and you just skyrocket.
Ah,
So it
Oh
like
my
you're not
goodness.
expecting
That's
it, and I just
awesome.
ruined it for everyone because
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
amazing the first time you ride it because you think it's gonna be one of those click, 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 click,
Spoiler
go down
alert.
the hill.
yeah. This is the first
but no, it
roller
shoots.
coaster spoiler alert on a podcast.
Sorry, guys. We
Did not
really
think
screwed
about
this
that.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's really good. It's a really long roller coaster.
Oh, good.
So good.
And it's a free feet.
Have you
like-
been to
You're
Six
a
Flags?
Dangler.
Magic Mountain?
No.
That's like the roller coaster haven
I need
of
to go.
California. Probably the US, honestly. You know, there's a lot better roller coasters elsewhere, but this is like an amalgam of like a ton of different roller coasters.
Yeah.
One of my favorites is from Knott's Berry Farm in California also. It's I forget what it's called, but it's wooden. I love wooden roller coasters because
No.
it feels creaky.
No.
It feels unsafe. Honestly, these are I'm
thought about
no
it.
joke. That's why I love them because
Yeah.
if you don't feel like you're just in this secure car, you know, it's as wild and crazy
If
as
you,
it.
if
Yeah.
you can't see me right now,
Yeah, you're
I'm
not
just,
happy.
I look like I'm nauseous. Just imagining this.
You can hear all of the
Oh.
creaks of every turn and like oh,
And
it's
the
so
story of that roller coaster.
Yeah,
Every
yeah,
time
yeah.
you bank a turn.
You remember the first day it was
So,
made, and it's
also-
been years since it's been
There's the
changed.
bones of the creator under the.
good. Why did we start talking about roller coasters? Oh, Marvel
theme
Land.
parks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
like
also
Disney.
Harry Potter Land. I haven't been there since they made that. Because I used to go there all the time. I had season passes. There's another roller coaster where it was called the Dueling Dragons. And it actually intertwines. Like during
let's
the
go.
corkscrew, they're going the opposite directions and they intertwine. And then there's a part where your feet look like they're going to touch each other. And you're actually crazy far apart, but perspective is a bitch.
Yeah.
And so they turned that into a Harry Potter themed thing when they did the Harry Potter. So it was
okay,
already
okay.
existing.
So what is it now? Is it like a
I don't-
Expelliarmus or something? Yeah.
So it's some. I mean, obviously they just kept the roller coaster exactly the same,
Right.
but the like lead up to it is different now to make it Harry Potter themed.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
They repurposed
I want
it.
to.
yeah.
I want to get a wand. That's all I want. A wand
Oh yeah,
and
there's
a
one right down
rose.
the hallway. I don't know
I
if you've
know,
seen it.
I know, it's so
that-
dope.
But I
hear-
want my
hear
own
the-
wand.
I hear the one in
Why?
California is like kind of boring. There's like one ride.
'Cause it's
tra-
smaller.
yeah, and the
Yeah.
train doesn't even move. Like
what?
that's stupid, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's like this is the
Picture
concept
shit.
of what's gonna look like.
Oh, and also speaking of, I'm also stealing all my ideas from Cineverse and from Hyper RPG. But
Whatever.
they
Why stop now?
They mentioned that Nintendo made a agreement with
Universal.
the
right?
Universal in Hollywood. I think I don't know if it's also the one in
So
Florida.
do a separate.
But
well,
it-
yeah,
it-
they'll probably do a.
but it is going to be like a
bi-coastal
Nintendo
eventually.
Land, basically,
Should be amazing,
which is
yeah.
pretty cool. I
Yeah.
mean, some people are complaining that it's like, oh, it's second tier for an amusement park, but it's really only second to Disneyland, right?
Well, and
And Disney World.
because of Harry Potter, Disney World's really been struggling in Florida, like because that became a
Yeah, it's
huge pull
huge.
for Universal,
Mm.
and so like Disney World revamped their Fantasyland. They added new rides and stuff. They just opened or about to open Avatar Land
wow.
in Animal Kingdom,
Okay.
and
What?
yeah.
That makes me so upset.
And I've seen like mock-ups of what it's supposed to look like, and it looks amazing. I don't
but
like
it
those
doesn't
movies.
belong. But it doesn't belong in Animal
not.
Kingdom.
Right. And I think one of the things is because Animal Kingdom closes really early, like at 6 or
Yeah,
7.
yep.
This will extend the park hours to like nighttime, and they can do night show
So
stuff.
when the animals are actually active at night, like
right. There's going to be
there's gonna be more things going on now.
bioluminescent
Yeah.
shit in
so
the
they
air
can't do
and-
shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great.
But
They're just gonna paint the lions with like some.
black light
Yeah.
responsive paint. Like it's Disney. They love it.
Every night they do this. It's like
Mom,
it's
isn't
a
that a
collage.
lion?
But yeah, no, the Harry Potter stuff has been so successful that Disney's really it's tripped
And
them
picking
up
up
a little bit.
Nintendo, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're on an upswing.
they really are.
I'm still a Disneyland nerd and everything, but
Do you know like where all like the Mickey Mouse,
the
like,
hidden
crowd-
Mickeys?
yeah, hidden Mickeys and all that stuff?
I know where a
is?
lot of it is. I
Okay.
know where all the remnants of old rides. You know, when they make a new ride, they take over what used to be there.
Yeah.
So I know where all the hidden. There's an Eeyore parking sign in Indiana Jones.
Oh,
I always
wow.
check and see if you can see it. It's
You're one
really
of the,
dark.
You're one of those dumb Disney people.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to.
stupid Disney.
I'm trying to recreate that Dan Harmon interview that I showed you guys. Do you remember that? Who was he being interviewed by? Remember? And Dan Harmon got in trouble
yeah,
for
yeah, yeah.
saying
Oh,
you're one
yeah.
of those stupid Disney people. He's clearly joking.
Yeah.
Whenever you want to go, like just buy me a ticket and I'll go with you.
Sounds easy.
I have
So
one
I
I
friend
need to raise funds
who-
to get a ticket for me, let alone another person.
Let's just open
Well,
Color
maybe-
Circuit Kickstarter. Color
maybe-
Circuit
Yeah.
goes to.
Yeah.
so
Oh,
just
that'd be
Disney
so
World.
much fun.
Could this be
Maybe if you would-
thing? I don't know how Patreon works. Could
If
this
you
be
could
the
just
Shut
stop
that up
spending
now.
money on Loot Crate, maybe you would have
I
had.
stopped the membership. We are
Finally.
at the end of it. I have like 2 more crates left, and then I'm done. I'm out.
All right.
I'm out.
Okay.
Good job.
That's
It's
what you
like,
say.
like breaking
Making-
up with an ex.
Yeah.
Yeah, make
You
a
keep
Disney
going back to.
a Disneyland fund.
So to bring this back a little bit, I have a friend. His name's Pi, or it's my cousin, who literally does nothing but plans people's first trips to Disneyland.
I've heard of those people.
It's
Yeah, yeah,
fantastic, and like I'm having him like tailor one for me at some point because I do want to have one of those trips.
Wait, have you been to Disneyland?
Well, it's or Disney World,
Disney World. Okay.
whichever one's not in California.
Yeah, that's Disney World.
Okay,
Yeah.
Disney World. Yeah.
And then there's also Disney Sea in Japan that I went to. Also, that one's
Ooh.
pretty cool.
Shanghai Disney just opened, and
My cousin worked on Shanghai Disney.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I
Wow.
follow
That's cool.
on Instagram. I follow a cast member or an ex-cast member, but she's always there. But she lives out there, and really amazing stuff. The ride, like there's a Tron light cycle ride.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah,
That sounds
and where
awesome.
everyone's on a light cycle, and you're going. Yeah, and yeah, like Disneyland Paris, where there's like Maleficent's dragon is in the basement of the castle,
Oh,
and you
that's
can
cool.
see it, and it's like sleeping, and then it wakes
That's
up. and-
amazing.
Yeah,
Great.
I love
all
the
that
giant
shit.
animatronics. I posted this the other day. Nobody responded to this, but there was a How to Train Your Dragon play where they had
Oh yeah.
puppets the size of this room.
That's
Oh,
so
wow.
And they were like
Wow.
5-person
Controlled by real
controlled.
people.
Yeah, 5-person controlled puppets. They're watch the video of it. It's
Huh.
insane
That sounds
to
so
see
cool.
a bunch of
I-
dragons like that.
I watched the video and I was like, oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, you didn't know? Oh, I'm so sorry. You
I,
didn't know
yeah,
about that.
and
Yeah.
so it makes me so sad because that movie, it's one of the best movies.
It is
like
good.
animated films to come out in a long
It was
time.
a
I
yeah.
think.
great
I agree.
adaptation. Like a super awesome live adaptation.
I want to read the books. I got the first one. I got to read it.
So I'm actually going to be in Florida the first week of June, and if any of our listeners want to buy me a ticket
Again,
to
hundreds of dollars.
Get a goddamn job.
to Universal, I have a job.
Get one that.
It pays me just enough to pay my bills and have zero spending money.
Oh, okay.
Have a job.
So yeah, just send me. It's not hundreds of dollars to go to Universal.
All right. Well, this is not
send me,
Dead
like,
Dad
80
Cam.
bucks.
It's Big Cam.
I've
Yeah. Okay. Here we go.
big bag.
Just
Cam.
know how much I love Harry Potter and I love roller coasters, and I lived in Florida and I moved away even after Harry Potter Part Oakland, whatever.
All right. She doesn't know the
Opened.
name. Cam
Yeah.
one.
Back.
No way!
Lost.
You had your chance,
You had
kid.
your
You blew it.
Chance is gone. It's gone.
I'm seeing it like 20 seconds later, and my pouting eyebrows are on point.
They really
Yeah,
are.
they're
Actually, your
good.
eyebrows in general are on point.
Oh, thanks. They're very natural. I don't do anything to them.
No, you're full of shit.
I'm mostly telling the truth.
Okay.
I do fill in some color right here in the front, but it's like a centimeter
You can't
that
even
I fill
tell.
in.
This is-
Okay. Give you some depth.
But I don't tweeze.
You don't tweet. You don't
No.
tweeze.
Mm-mm,
Oh my
I,
gosh.
Nor do
don't
I.
understand.
clearly.
Don't understand.
Yeah, I don't understand either.
I
I
don't-
really
Yeah.
want to do.
How do you fill? What do you fill in with? Like what are the eyebrows?
You
filled in
there's
with?
like a it's like a pencil, right?
Is it a
I don't
pencil?
use a pencil. You can either use a pencil, a powder, or cream. I use a cream.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Okay.
Eyebrow cream.
Yeah.
Do you apply with like a little brushy thing, or do you just
Yeah,
just
with a
rub it in?
brush, with a
Oh.
brush.
Welcome to the podcast where men learn about women.
Okay,
So much right now.
you know
I would
how,
totally be into that.
Do you know how
Let's
we
start that
were?
podcast.
We were earlier discussing that we were looking at our analytics, and it turns out that only 4% of our viewers on YouTube are females.
However,
Yes.
100% of our Facebook viewers right now are females, so go us.
we're doing
And one of them is your
something.
sister, so I don't think it
Whatever. Thanks for watching, my sister.
counts. So yeah, I was thinking, what if Jessica and I started like a girls' corner?
Gross. Not in my house.
So the answer is yes. Is immediate.
Yeah, but it's so long as it's in literally the physical corner.
Girls'
I'm
corner.
really not sexist, I
I feel
promise.
so bad for her.
I know, you really should. Most people should.
She's
Yeah.
the hero.
Yeah, she's
You
the
were
real
you
hero.
were the
She's always the
hero,
hero.
but now you're the angel too. I love you, Jessica.
In the outfield.
Jeez.
She aight.
Is she in the outfield because like she wasn't good enough for first base?
Keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going. No, keep
I
going.
didn't know. I don't know how baseball
You're
works.
great.
so we teach me baseball first, and I'll figure it out.
Yeah, I can do
okay.
that. I can do that,
Okay.
and I can also teach you about makeup.
And how to fix my toilet.
Yeah, let's talk about that. So on Wednesday we were streaming board games.
You're really gonna aggrandize yourself. I know
Yeah.
how to fix it.
It's,
I'm
and
a man.
yeah,
I'm a man.
Okay.
man.
What?
you still had to ask me more questions today.
Yeah.
It's very odd. You didn't ask us either. It's just like you automatically went to Kendra because Kendra's the one who
She
had to
pointed
deal
it.
with
She
it.
pointed
yeah.
it out. Yeah, she had to deal with the
Yeah.
being able to pee and not actually flush it.
Yeah, so I had to reach my hand to the tank, and I was able to
What you
very
doing?
very quickly decipher what was wrong in the tank.
Wow.
Which was the
There's
rubber
no link.
the rubber piece was broken from the rubber piece.
Good job.
The flapper?
It
The
actually
flapper.
is
It
called
was
a
the
flapper.
flapper.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no. I had to fix a toilet one time and learned really quickly about all that stuff.
Yeah,
because
that's what
flapper and
happened
chain.
for
you
me
need
too.
to
Yeah.
poop. Yeah.
Yeah, you
That's
have to
shit
poop.
You need
needs
to go.
to
You
happen.
need to go. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
Good
there's
job.
No choice about that. Yeah, my brother's a plumber,
Oh, is he?
or he was a plumber.
Gave-
So
gave
it's
it
like
up.
I learned a lot about. My dad was a plumber, and my dad was a carpenter. My brother was a plumber. So like in between them, I learned so much about how to make a house that I want to make a tiny home at some point in my life.
A tiny,
tiny
one?
home.
Why do
Tiny
you want to
house.
just live in a tiny house?
Just
Look at him.
I mean, look at me. Yeah. That's- I want.
I'm
be able to take
offended
my
for him.
That caught me so off surprise. I just went along with it, and now it's caught up with me. I'm a little confused, but it works.
Oh my god.
But yeah, and I want to have a tiny house. That I can just take, it's an office. Like I want to have that. That'll be an office, and have that in the back of my house, and then I can use that to build my regular home later down the road.
Oh, you
That'll become
want
a
you
full
do want a
home.
regular size one? Okay.
That'll be down the
Is this
road.
house made for ants?
It's made for dwarves. I need to grow out my beard.
We did have one more thing that we talked about wanting to talk about before we started.
what were we wanting to talk about?
that we actually touched everything except for the SpaceX launch.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So it finally had another successful relaunch, which is fantastic. I think it marks its 9th successful relaunch for SpaceX, which is freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Because it means it's one step closer to my ass going to Mars, and I just want that in my life, or
So-
at least the moon.
Is that really truly one of your big goals?
It really is. Before I die, I either want to go to Mars or the moon, and I want to be there
And die,
die.
on Mars.
Yeah, yeah. I
Do
don't
you-
want to come back.
Are you jealous of kids that got to go to space camp? Because, dear Lord,
Did you
I
ever
am.
go to space camp?
Did you go to space camp?
I never
Okay.
went, but I wanted to go super.
Yeah.
bad.
I
it's
wanted
one
to
of
go
those
so bad
dreams.
too.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
I like the
would love to
movie.
be on the little spinny thing and be like, "I won't throw up." No, I'm not, because I'm awesome. I can do this. Like,
Have you ever been to a space center? So I went to JFK a couple times.
Oh,
'Cause they're
really?
in Florida. Yeah,
that's so
Cape Canaveral.
Jealous.
And it's so cool. There's so much fun stuff to do in the museum part.
Oh, it's so great.
Yeah,
I
and I
went-
got to see all the launches because you can see them from the coast.
So
Really?
I like,
Daytona.
Yeah.
Yeah.
for the
that
audio
makes
podcast,
sense.
I nodded my head because I wanted to listen more and did not answer the question. I've not been to one. I
Oh,
just was
that's
like,
right.
went
You're
with this. So I was
nodding.
just
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I went to in Houston. It's Johnson Space Center. The other
that sounds
one.
right.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
I went there when I was very, very little, and it was the year before Challenger,
Oh.
and when we were visiting,
God, it was your fault.
yeah, I
Oh, what did you do? Did you?
Did you press
Okay,
something?
go on. Go on.
Here's the story.
Yeah, okay.
no, Challenger was actually running a test when we were there,
Ah.
Oh God, it was her fault.
and and so it was on like all the screens and everything, and I don't remember this. I was like 5 or 6 and whatever, brain's gone.
You're so old.
And while we were there, we could hear like the mission control going, and then they were doing a
So wait, somebody had a trumpet? What was that?
yeah. They have all the things on instruments. And so they were running a test on Challenger, and there was like an alert or something, like something's going wrong. And that was Challenger at the time. And roughly a year later, the tragedy happened. So yeah, I did that.
Damn.
Really brought the podcast down. didn't it?
Well, it's just sad because I'm never gonna be able to look at you the same.
Yeah, you had so much respect for me before.
Yeah.
No, you're a prince. You're,
Scott really has a point
You're,
there.
uh,
Actually.
Yeah.
You
Yeah, I
know,
was-
you keep saying stuff like that, and I don't get it. You act like I've been mean to you, ever.
Ever?
Yeah, and I just
Forever.
I
That was
don't. I don't.
We've
I
all
don't
been at
get
the
it.
end of your whip, I think, at some point.
Kendra's
Mostly
whip.
Scott though.
Kendra.
Mostly
Yeah.
me. I'm the
Mostly
whipping boy.
Whipping
Yeah.
boy,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because I really like his defeated face.
It's a good defeated face.
Because
Strong.
you,
It's my default face.
yeah, you're defensive.
A little bit, yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
I don't think I've been mean to you much.
Bunch is cool, that's why.
Yeah.
I'm really,
can't- yeah.
I'm like meh.
Yeah.
And I feel like if something ever did happen, you guys would just end up punching each other because you're both pretty like badass.
Like we're
Yeah.
obsessively physical for like no reason. We're just like I don't feel good about this, and then we have the death eye where we're just like murder will happen now.
Yeah.
Like there's no choice about that. Yeah.
So I've been to the Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Pasadena, California. That was pretty amazing. They had the Mars Space Laboratory, the model ship that they used before they made the real one to send up. And when the Mars Space Laboratory went up, I don't know, was that 2-3 years ago? No, 4 years ago. I was with the Planetary Society, which is run by Bill Nye, the science guy.
Very nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
And so we actually all did a countdown to when it landed, and we got live feed as soon as it landed. And so I did a
great.
countdown with Bill Nye, the science guy, and Carl Sagan's ex-wife. I don't remember
So
her name.
cool.
Wow.
And also who does Family Guy and all that stuff.
Seth MacFarlane.
Seth MacFarlane was there too because he was promoting with Carl Sagan's widowed wife the show Cosmos.
Oh,
Yeah.
very cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that was super cool. And also, I know you want to go to Mars. I actually go to somebody in my department at the school that I teach and attend at. He's on the short list of people that are supposed to go. There was a big
Yeah, I remember
yeah.
that. You-
I just my heart stopped for a second. Continue.
yeah. So yeah, he's like kind of locally famous for that.
That's amazing.
I
Yeah,
think I
super cool.
remember something in the paper about that. Like a local guy got because it was like an open casting call for this.
Yeah, his name's
thing.
Zach. I'll just say his name's
Okay.
Zach.
Is he a geologist? What is he?
Yeah, well, he's he works in the department of meteoritics.
What is
so,
that?
Like meteorology, so like space. He studies space stuff.
And weather.
Him and
or-
my good friend at school.
What? Meteorology. What?
Yeah, no, you're right. Meteorologists study weather, but
See?
but
So that's why
meteoritics
that's
is
why it's
different.
called meteoritics.
I
Yes,
see.
meteoritics
Because
study. of-
meteorology was already taken.
Understood. But they both
Different
worked
suffix.
on the Mars space lab. I've been in the room where they control the actual robot.
That's very cool.
The guy that at University of New Mexico uses his laptop to control it. Like it's pretty cool. You can like control it from anywhere, honestly.
That's neat.
You guys have to go visit. Yeah, go
Yeah,
visit. Like they
definitely.
actually have like a little museum and stuff.
So
Stuff 01100.
the funny thing is, we have a spaceport here in New Mexico
We sure do.
that's dust, just
Yeah.
building up dust.
It's a
Yeah.
building in the middle of nowhere, right?
$1 million project used for nothing.
Mhm.
When was the last time it was used? Do you guys know?
Never.
Never.
It was
Never
They
been
built it and it's sitting there. I remember when I went down to college to Las Cruces, there were signs about coming soon, the spaceport and everything.
Yeah.
And it got built and
Nobody
nothing
wants to use it.
happened. We thought, cool, we're coming into our own, and nothing.
Yeah, so the whole point of it was that they thought that people would want to privately use it. So it was supposed to be private.
Private space.
And so they really thought that they as billionaires were going to magically start making private spaceships, which isn't as outlandish as I'm making it sound.
No, because
But-
SpaceX is kind of doing that. They're a private
Yeah.
company.
Well, like
so-
originally before.
And Virgin, that guy, whatever his name, the
Yeah,
Virgin.
Oh,
the-
yeah, yeah.
Well,
The
like,
Virgin
an
Mary.
engine alone.
The Virgin Mary loves space.
The guy that owns
the guy that owns Virgin Records.
Yeah,
yeah.
whatever he
and
is,
Virgin
yeah.
Mobile and all that
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Yeah. Virgin Islands.
What is his
Yeah.
name? He's crazy.
Guy.
Brian
no.
Cranston. No, Brian something.
It's Guy something. isn't
Guy
it?
Fieri. Guy Fieri owns it.
Okay.
He
Anyway.
deep fries it and throws
Yeah.
throws
Yeah.
chipotle
So it was-
sauce on it.
It was supposed to be a private space center, and it's not being used at all.
What a waste of money.
Not
That
even for
sucks.
like a party space.
So if
Like
you
a,
want
have
to,
your birthday party.
if you want us to go to space, just give us some money,
Yeah, refund.
and we will build a spaceship, and we'll put that space center. I don't even know the name of it.
Drop me off at Disneyland.
I don't know
first.
either. I was so disappointed because there was like high hopes for it, and like when an engine alone costs like $800 million, I don't know how they're going to expect to build a rocket.
So you would
Yeah.
do the one-way trip to
Yeah.
Mars? Would you guys do the one-way trip to Mars?
No.
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 I have anxiety about thinking about space travel.
But your life is that good down here?
No.
Okay.
I'm still hoping.
Doesn't
somehow.
that suck?
Yeah.
To be optimistic.
Right. It wavers. It really
Yeah.
does. It goes
Yeah,
in and
yeah.
out.
I spent
I'm
And-
just
and-
gonna keep clawing by because I think that maybe tomorrow I'll be happy.
It's like old
That's
rabbit
the
ears
hope.
on a
That's the hope.
television. Like, I think I can see the
Yeah,
channel.
oh, God.
Ah,
It's getting
oh,
clearer. I think I see.
don't
a foot.
move.
Let's-
Don't move.
oh,
I can watch the news. Ah, you
Oh,
moved.
there we go. Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like
Yeah.
that.
So
Yeah.
old,
Just with
Scott.
my optimism. Yeah, 35. I'm about done. I'm about done. Yeah.
Mostly done.
How old are you? You're 27?
26.
26. Oh. Oh.
That's right. You look younger than me, so that's good.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See what just happened?
You
Cringed at me,
stole-
complimented her.
stole-
High-roaded is what it's
No,
called.
I actually really hate
Ironic.
I hate that I look young.
Yeah,
I hate it.
it ruins it. It ruins like everything because you're no matter what, everyone thinks you're a freaking child.
Yep.
You have
Yeah.
the same problem.
Yes.
You have Asian child face.
I have Asian child face,
Yeah.
especially when I shave my face, and I have to keep this weird partial beard thing, which I don't.
When
like.
my face is shaved, people think I'm Asian, which I am, and when my face has hair on it, people think I'm Mexican, which I am. So
It's you have
Yeah.
the balancing point.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like you just have
It's like a
half and half.
reversible jacket.
Yeah.
So we have a comment, and Don Stark says, "Kids, all of you,
all of you.
Nice.
Oh,
even
it's-
even Scott.
He's probably
You're
36.
God,
look,
he's-
old man. You
he's
need to
36.
relax.
Who's watching us that's older than Scott?
I don't know. I certainly don't get this streaming thing. I don't think anyone older than me does.
Well, I had
Not
to,
a
I had to
factor
explain
here.
what we do to my therapist today. That was fun.
Did you really?
Yeah.
So
great.
How did she
explain
take-
the
or he-
streaming thing.
It's so hard. Well, actually, she said, "Can you explain the screening thing?"
Screening?
Yeah, because she misunderstood me.
Oh, she meant to say
Okay.
streaming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's harder to find.
And you gave her our business card
That we don't have.
that we don't have.
Color circuit.
You wrote
Yeah.
it down.
You went to
Yeah.
the Facebook page and just suggested like.
Yeah.
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 It's like,
You said, well, if you share, like, and subscribe, you can find out. Tune in at 3.
I gotta go. Bye
I
bye.
wish I would have. That would have been,
awesome.
amazing.
Yeah. Missed opportunity.
Closing all the time. You gotta be closing all the time.
Always
Oh.
closing.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry to let you guys down.
You know, the therapist market is pretty sure is going to be our niche.
Yeah, that's gonna be
yeah.
it's gonna be the people.
They just
especially
watch
when
us and
you-
go, "What the hell
That's
is
our
wrong with
demographic.
these people?"
Yeah.
They're
Hi,
all
Justin.
comedians.
Justin's watching.
Just that.
We love them.
Yes, all the love. I feel like we're getting close to about that
Yeah.
time, right?
Yeah.
Pretty
Yeah.
close to the end. That was a quick hour.
It
That
really
was a
does
quick
go
hour.
quick.
We had good
Yeah.
stories.
Yeah.
Maybe we should come a little more prepared as we move forward with the podcast. Cause
What?
I don't know.
I
No?
don't-
Well, just because, like, at least one story, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or two,
Yeah, it's good to come in with something to be like, it'd be cool if we talked about this.
Yeah.
But
Well, like
I
what
would
if-
have been happy if we talked about theme parks the whole time.
It's
I-
true.
I know.
It's true.
They're the
theme park
best.
I could
episode.
go hours.
It makes
Yeah,
me
me
sad
too.
that people don't like theme or amusement parks.
I just get scared. I want to do that. I
are you
do
scared
enjoy
of?
them. I just get scared because I had one. I told Justin the story.
You got
before
lost
the
as a child.
Star Wars saga. No, one of the rides open.
He got lost as an adult.
Oh, the harness.
The harness opened up
Oh my God.
on the right, so I had to like lock myself in, and my friend was holding me
Holy
while,
shit.
Yeah, while we were doing. There was one loop.
No, you did not go on a loop
I wouldn't a loop unharnessed, and I had to go under the person's seat to stay on.
Where was it?
It was at the state fair. And I
Oh,
was
that
like,
makes
yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes
Wow.
sense.
After
Go
that,
to a real park.
yeah,
That
no,
doesn't move every 3 nights. you
Yeah.
know?
Now it all makes sense.
Yeah.
So it was like after
Yeah.
that, I constantly have the fear. It's not that I don't like them. It's just that
No,
It's-
that's terrifying.
That's
Yeah.
a
Terrifying.
valid
as a child,
reason.
Yeah.
I'm like,
You know what
Yeah.
though?
Okay.
The little roller coasters that the Carney set up, they're really cool because they're really fast and they whip.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Oh,
that
I love
feeling.
carnival rides.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
Yeah.
yeah.
And unless you get a bad one,
Okay.
then
Yeah.
just-
Like I have the fear, still love them. I would still want
Yeah.
to go on all of them.
Yeah.
Like in Vegas, I remember going to the one that just like goes off to the edge of the building.
The
and
New
you're
York
staring
one?
down. Yeah, and I'm like,
Oh, no,
I
the
wanna-
stratosphere.
Stratosphere. That's on
yeah.
Stratosphere. Yeah, that's also where I did my first bungee jump.
That thing is nuts.
Are there amusement parks in New York that I should be
Not
going
New York
to?
City, no.
Yeah, probably outlying. Well, there's Coney Island. You could go to Coney Island.
There's
What's that?
Six Flags in Jersey.
Mm.
There's a Six Flags in Jersey?
On,
And then there's also the Great Escape, which is upstate New York.
just
Saratoga.
another-
Saratoga's beautiful.
It's just
it's
another
so
Look for an
gorgeous,
escape
yeah.
room. Look for like the amazing escape rooms they have. There's so many speakeasies too. There's just so many.
And jazz. Boopity
and all the jazz. There's so many great speakeasies. Oh. All right, we do have to end this though.
Yeah, who's gonna
yeah.
sign us off?
Me. I picked me.
Do it, Kendra.
Do it up.
Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Circuit Board, the podcast made by Color Circuit, which is consisting of me, Kendra.
Me, Dylan.
Bon.
And Scott.
Please like, follow, subscribe, all of the things, share. Just do the verbs. We like the verbs. Keep doing
Poke,
the verbs.
poke us.
Focus. Yes.
Focus.
Oh,
We're still so
love
new to
it.
this.
Yeah, and unfortunately,
yeah.
next week we will be on a break because, as formerly mentioned, Dylan will be in New York,
And this is his house.
and Jessica said we
Yes.
were not allowed in.
Yes. It's a hard no.
I made
Hard
some
no.
keys.
We will definitely still be putting some stuff out there, Bond, Scott, and myself, but we probably won't be live streaming, or if we are, it's going to be on a phone.
It's going to be weird.
And yeah, thank you
Stay
very much.
tuned.
We'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.